Today we're making VeggieTale characters out of Lego. This is a complete guide of how to make these little veggies. And we're going to start making these. We're gonna make Larry the cucumber. Let's get into the video. So let's break down how to make this. To get the shape, very, very interesting. We've got 6 major parts to make Larry out of. So let's start with the bottom part. Let's move this out of the way. We've got the bottom part right here. I like to put these are going to be your main goal for something like this. It's going to be these type of, they're not brackets, I think they're called like snot bricks or something, but it's the ones that have them on either side like that. Basically what I did here is it's just a 4x4 plate, and you make sure to make the detail, you want to put this extra plate on the bottom so it gives it that cucumber type shape or whatever. So this is your base for Larry, and I always like to put this can be any color, I like to put this on so it keeps these from moving around. And same thing for the top here. I just inverted it, so basically you have your white plate and then these go like this. A cool tip I've learned from Lego Master Builders is to use these pieces to get that round shape on the top. So what you're gonna do is you're kind of like do this to make kind of like that, and you put this right on top. And put that on top of that. And now, there's your top halves, and you can kind of see how this is kind of like, looks round. It's a cucumber! Bruh. For these next parts, these are exactly, if you have exactly the same pieces, that's what I like to do. You know, not all of us have the same pieces, so it just needs to be a 4x12. Let me do my math real quick. It just needs to be a 4x12. So however many plates it takes to make up, you can use an 8 and a 4, a 6 and a 6, 3 4s. Cucumber! Bruh. For the face, what we want to do is boom. This is basically the face. So it's basically the exact same thing. So to get that face shape, the eyes, I put a plate here. And you just kind of put the eyes on that plate like that, and the nose has one of those little bricks on it, and the mouth is the same thing. I put the little tooth there, buck tooth. You can also use a 1x1 tile. But now that we have all the parts, let's assemble it. The way you want to do it to give it that round cucumber shape, you're gonna put it on the second one instead of the first one. So it's not like that, but it's like this. And now you kind of have that, how it kind of goes around like that. That's why I put the white plates there. And when you just put the face on, it just brings him to life. Like, look at that. We're making Bob the tomato. This is kind of a very cool, and I really like how he turned out. Let's break him down. We have got 5 parts as well, kind of like we did with Larry, but this is gonna be a little different. This one's a little more difficult because of the shape and the way it was made, because Bob is kind of a weird shape. Like, he's not totally circle, if that makes sense. So I kind of had to make it like a 5x4 type thing. But we have the bottom of him, or the base, and we basically have these are pretty much in all of the VeggieTale characters we'll be building. This is to hold everything together. So I'll kind of show you what that means in a minute. These are just bricks, and then down here, here's how you make the detail of the rounded area down here. 2x4 plate, 1x4 plate, and then some 1x2 plates, and it's kind of in this type of order. You're gonna plop this piece 2x3 plate right on there, and it gives it that round look. And also, all these look really detailed, but if you know how to do it, it looks great, and it's really not hard at all. This is the back side of Bob, and it's basically just some plates, and it's mainly 2x3 plates and 2x4 plate on the back. And you've got these guys right here. Pretty easy, simple. Now we can go ahead and put this on the back. Remember, 2 down, so you gives that round look, like that. Put that on there. Now here's the other thing. This is the top part. I like to put this because of the way Bob is shaped. It's gonna come down and also give that detail. That's why I stacked 2 on each top of each other, and it's gonna plop down right on top. So you can see how I put that stand in there, so it kind of it also makes it sturdy so it doesn't break. You can kind of throw it around. For the face, all it is to make the eyes centered in the middle of the face, because this is such a weird build. You're gonna have these little bricks right here, and then that flat one in the middle. And so you can put the eyes kind of like this. You can go ahead and slap that baby on. Also, I put these here so it can slide right between those two brackets and it doesn't move around or come off easily. And that's how you make Bob. This is Junior Asparagus. He's that little asparagus with the cap on. This is a little more of an advanced build if you haven't seen the other two. Those were pretty simple, but this guy has so much more detail on him, so let's go ahead and break him down. We have 6 parts for this guy. This is gonna be your base. I like to use, for this build, I like to use these pieces and stagger them like this. You'll need 4 of those for this build. Also, you'll want to make sure you have an extra green plate right here. That is very important to make him pop and look like that. All right, so make sure you have that plate down there, and I'll show you why that's important in a minute. The next thing we have are the sides. We've got the 2 sides like this. I would add a plate right here, even if this is a 1x8, because it'll also give the detail of the asparagus. This side is yellow because of his cap. I'll show you why that is important in a minute. So make sure you have a yellow plate here, and you can make this type of shape. You want to make sure that's good. This is the back of him. It's nothing special. And this is the front of him. You've got his mouth is always to the side, I feel like, in the movies or show or whatever. So you want to put that on the side. And then this is his nose. And that's as close as I can get to the nose. He kind of has a lighter nose, but you can put a green one there. No one cares. We can start assembling. So you've got your base, and you're going to put these on the side. Remember, because of that that plate, we added an extra plate. We can put that right there. Now it looks good. So we can kind of like do this. Look how good that looks already. Look how rounded that is. That already looks pretty good. So this last part is the head. And basically what I did here is this is actually a bracket. It's not one of those other things. And you'll put the eyes down there and it'll match up beautifully. So for the hat, you're probably wondering, how does this hat look so amazing? I just am, my darling.
Bruh.
Don't ever do that again. I'm sorry. I stress this enough in my videos, and you know what? Brackets are the key to success. But all you do is just put those down here, and those brackets will lock all this together. And basically what I did is like this type of thing, and then you just put it together, kind of like that. And you throw this bad boy over the top, and it gives a nice detailed looking hat, if I do say so myself. And now you're gonna slap this down, bam, and it lines perfectly up, the eyes and everything, and even his nose. Because of that bracket, it's like very slightly off-centered. But what you wanna do is you can see how it's barely sticking out. So there is Junior Asparagus. This is probably the most advanced for you all. This is, you know, Bob and Larry were pretty easy, and anybody can do it. This one's a little more challenging, so you're gonna wanna stick with me. This is an intermediate level build. So let's get into it. Let's break him down. This is the stem right here. Pop. You want to make sure this is in the middle, or else it will crumble like the walls of Jericho. Okay, so this is basically what I did, and this is also important. You want to make sure there's 2 1x1 plates on top of these snot bricks. I believe that's what they're called. Correct me if I'm wrong, which I'll probably get a lot of corrections, but whatever. And these are gonna go around the base, kind of like this, okay? Next we have the sides, okay? And these need to be 3 by, I think it's a 3x12. And I've built these a certain way. You wanna make sure that it is an 8 right here, and you put a 2. This plate right here is the most important, because this is what's gonna help it lock together. And this last piece is one of these snot bricks, and it's gonna go kind of like that, like this. And you're gonna build 2 of these exactly the same way. Don't build them opposite, because I'll show you why in a minute, but these are kind of like that. Your last one is gonna be basically the same as your sides, but don't put the brackets on the top. I'll show you why in a minute, but you're gonna make the same thing. Same thing for the sides. And by the way, you want all these 1x2 plates on the left side, on the right side of your plates. And for the face, what we've done is we've done the same thing as with Bob, and if you haven't seen that, go check that out. Bob the Tomato. You got these snot bricks right here, and you're gonna plop these right there. The nose is pretty simple, and for his spectacles, it's an old building technique I used from probably, I think it was the Disney Castle, or like one of the Disney sets. You take a nipple and you plop one with them hole in it, plop. That reverses the brick and you're able to plop it like that and make him look like he has glasses. For the last part, and this is probably the most difficult part of the build, is making his head look like it was asparagus. And basically what I've done here is, I'm gonna take this part off. It's this thing, and you're gonna take some of these things, and you know I have a lot of these things, and you're gonna put a clip right here. And also an alternative, if you don't have these pieces, which probably not a lot of people do. So what you can do is you can put a clip, you can put a hole like that, and you can take some of these 1x2 plates, and it works essentially the same way, and you'll just, sounds like it's raining. And you'll make it kind of like that, essentially like that, and then you can clip it onto the same thing. So now that you heard all that gibberish, let's assemble. So you'll want to assemble it one by one. So let's start with the face, and you're going to put it on right here. And next you're going to put the sides. So basically what you want to do is lock these together. And you put this in right here. So once you do that, it locks everything together down like that. Okay? Now you can put the brain on top. And see this thing? It's gonna go right like that. And there is Archibald the Asparagus, Madam Blueberry out of Lego. We have got 6 pieces again today, and technically that is supposed to be 1 piece, but that's okay. We're gonna start with the base of Madame Blueberry. First, it's just 4 of these pieces. That's all you need. And these can be any color you want, which is nice because we're gonna hide it. So if one's yellow, don't worry about it. Lego does that anyway. And basically I have 2 plates stacked on top of each other and then 1 2x2 plate. Make sure you have 2 stacked on so it'll give that detail, you know what I'm saying? To make her hair pop out of the sides, this one is gonna be a little taller than this one because of the hat, because the hat kind of is, whatever. I'll probably throw a picture of her up there for you. I kind of took a Minecraft approach a little bit to her because it was kind of like, you got these right here, and you can kind of pause the video to see how to make them. For some weird and sad reason, they don't make a snot brick that is this color. It just heartbreaks my heart. You put the eyes, and then you can put the lips. I want to find better lips because I just don't like them at all, but that was the closest I had. Some people say, oh, she looks disgusting. Well, you still knew who it was, so I don't care. For the hat, you've got a brick, and the hat is a whole bunch of 1x2 plates. And you definitely do not have to make it with all the plates. If you have the 2x2 plates, that's a lot better. But if you take off the hat, you can just kind of see, and you just plop the hat, the feather thingy with the flower right on top. Let's assemble. Plop. So this one, you can kind of see how it's going to line up perfectly like that. That's what we want this time. And we can put these on the back and this in the front. Okay, so there's that. I think that's how it goes. And so since this part's higher, you're gonna plop the hat right on top like this. And that is Madame Blueberry. Let's make Jimmy the Gourd out of Lego. Jimmy Gourd has 5 parts. Here's the base. Again, most of these VeggieTale characters have this type of piece in it. If you haven't checked out any of the others like Larry, Bob, Junior Asparagus, click up here and go check those out. I think you're really gonna enjoy them because we're making pretty much all of the popular ones anyway. This is the stand. We've got 3 2x4 bricks and 3 2x2 bricks. And then we've got 2 of the 2x3 bricks. And then also we've tapered it down at the bottom so it gives that gourd shaped look. We've also got the sides. Basically, it's a whole bunch of 2x3 plates. You can pause the video to make this. You just make 2 of these. And you'll plop these on the sides. This next part is the back side of Gourd. I don't know why that kind of sounded weird, but this is the, I don't even know how to say it. I'm just going to say this is the rear end of Gourd. Bruh. And this is the back side of him, and this kind of gives that tapered look. These are also a lot of 2x3 bricks. You can pause the video and look of how to do that. And this last part is his face. How I did the nose and get this to turn around back is you take this off, and it's a one of these studs. Plop that down, and because it's in the middle, when you put in, and this has a hole on it right here, and now this kind of like covers part of the eyes, so it looks like his nose is sticking out above his eyes, and then you have the mouth. Okay, so let's go ahead and assemble it. A lot of people think, oh, the Gourd needs to go like this. Nope, it goes the other way, and it's gonna go right here on that second one, and it's gonna fit up right under here. Done. Look how cool that looks. It already looks like a Gourd. Look at that. Okay, it more looks like a pear. I know you're gonna say that, but it's not. It looks like a Gourd to me, because that's the only shape. And the back side goes like that. I mean, look at that. That already kind of looks cool. It kind of looks like a Gourd. And the face goes in the front, right like that. Bam! And that is how you make Jimmy Gourd. Let us make the French peas out of Lego. So let's get into the video. I really just cringed myself out there saying that. These are, the French peas are pretty easy to make. This is kind of like the beginner level of VeggieTale character. You can make a whole bunch of these and be good. Like, these are pretty cute, I feel like. Let's break these guys down. One of them has the hat. I think it's the Jean-Claude French pea. All it is of course these pieces, because that's pretty much in every single VeggieTales character I've made so far is that. But you're gonna want to pop these 2x2 plates all over like that. And his face is simply just a grill plate and 2 eyes. But for this guy, the hat I made is, this hat may look simple, but it's actually not. It's this little thing right here. It's one in the stud, and that gives it the smooth look. And you'll just pop it on his bald head. The French peas! And you can also stack them on top of each other, like they do all the time in the show. And if you have new bricks, he won't be bald. And like, the French peas! So that is how you make the French peas. We're gonna make Jerry Gourd out of Legos. But let's break Jerry Gourd down. This guy has 5 parts, and of course, if you haven't seen Jimmy Gourd, we make Jimmy Gourd, it is pretty similar to where Jerry, but he's a little different of a shape, he's a little taller, and so that's why we have all these little things. Remember, when you're master building or something, it's sometimes hard if everything's the same color on the inside. So if you want to make different colors and add some blues or something, just so you can keep track of where you are in the build, that also helps. And basically we have these are the staple of our Gourd, if you want to say it. You got these. This is the stem on top. All it is just, there's so many different ways you can make this. A lot of times, honestly, if you don't have that type of thing, you can just throw one of these on top instead, and it gives the same look. It'll look pretty good too as well. Next, we've got these are the side pieces here, and you can pause the video to kind of see what they look like if you want to build those. But it's just 2 of the exact same thing. It's just some plates. The back side is, you can kind of see, you just want to layer it, and a good rule of thumb is just to make sure you're always going in 1 stud to make it more round, a round shape. For the face, it's the exact same thing, but we've got some of these bricks. These are always good to make that mouth shape in the middle. And then his nose, if you haven't noticed, it's one of these pieces, and it's a hole. So that way you can kind of put it over the eyes to make it pop more and look more detailed. And the eyes are just those like flat plates, and they're on a 2x4 plate. But let's assemble. Remember how you always have that brick there, so you can kind of look like it's going like this. And you're gonna put the edges on, like that. So we get that Gourd shape. Look at that. You're gonna assemble that. And that is how you make Jerry Gourd. We're making Laura the Carrot out of Legos. This has 6 parts. This is the base. Now this looks really weird. This kind of looks like OU and OSU, but it's not. Because orange and red we know don't go together. Orange doesn't go anywhere. This is the stem. And basically I'm gonna, this is the head part, and that is just gonna stay there because it's easier. But this is your base, and I'll show you why. I just put the stick up there in a minute. We also have got the bow and the hairpiece on the top. These are the sides because Laura has ponytails, and so you want halfway up, you want to change it to yellow, and then basically it's just this piece that I put the ponytail on, kind of like this, right? And if you haven't seen any of the other VeggieTale videos, we've made Larry, Bob, the French peas, all those. You can go check that out. I really think you're gonna enjoy it. And make sure you watch because we're making the whole collection. It's just such a fun thing to make. So we've got the hair pieces, and the last thing is the face. We've got the nose and the eyes. Again, if there's something that's in the middle, it's always this piece. And then we brought this yellow piece down the top for her like bangs type thing, because she has bangs, but that's a good thing. And you move the smile down one because it looks better. Let's start assembling. See how this stem is in the middle, and see how I put this plate here? So it kind of makes it sturdy. And we always want to put the brick there. Next, we're gonna put the ponytails. So see how in there, when you put those extra plates, it kind of locks it all together and makes it really sturdy. That's what we're gonna do. And then you put the hat on top, right like that. Bam! And there is Laura the Carrot right there. And you can see how when we use brackets, how it kind of sticks out just a little bit, and that makes it even more rounded and it makes it look even better. We're gonna make Mr. Lunt out of Legos. Here is Mr. Lunt. He is one of my favorite VeggieTale characters. He's just one of the really funny ones, I think. I feel like he turned out really good for what we had. So let's break him down. He's got quite a nice looking hat on the top of him here. And a lot of people notice he don't got no eyes. Basically, we've got these type of things. 4 of these for the base of Mr. I just dropped it. Is that how we act when things don't go our way? These don't have to be any certain colors. They can be all different colors because we're gonna hide them in the end. So that's how you're gonna do it. Basically, the sides are really similar, so you can just kind of see they're all the same. The face is what's the cool part. So let's take a minute and observe the beauty of this. Are you tooting your own horn? What's this tomato doing? This tomato's annoying. Alright, we've got the nose, and this is... I think I put the wrong piece. Of course, that's what it was. That was actually red. This is supposed to be brown. I'm sorry about that. The brown and the nose kind of puts it like that, so it looks like he has a mustache. And then his little cheesy smile right there is go. And then we can start assembling, guys. We can put these on the sides. So we've already got kind of his face. You can kind of see it's already kind of like his face. So for the hat, this is very, very detailed, but we can break it down real quick. We use these exact same pieces. Now if these can be the same color, that is perfect. If not, you're gonna still hide them, but you'll see little streaks of color. But you made kind of like this type of thing, like it's in all Lego City cars. You know, this thing, it's in every single one of those sets. So it's pretty easy to make. You just put that there, so that kind of gives the hat shape. And then you want to center these. So you see these 2 little studs? You want to put those in the holes and not on the side, because that looks weird. And this is the round side. And then you kind of put a brick in the middle, and then you just make it rounded. And then you can like put that on top, and it kind of looks like the hat. And there's a brick there. And make sure the brick is the same color as your vegetable, because look at that. Bam! We put that down. There you go. Looks like his hat's kind of covering his eyes. And he looks pretty good, I feel like. We built pretty much all the main ones, or the ones that you can have fun with. They look great on your shelf and pretty much everywhere else. If you want to see how we've made all them separately in detail, you can click the playlist up here. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.